Thank you so much, Brianna. Now, I am going to talk a little bit about the significance and harms of obesity. According to the National Institute of Health, an estimated 300,000 deaths per year are due to the obesity epidemic. Obesity is a very serious medical condition, and it is detected using the body mass index, or the BMI, as I will refer to it throughout the rest of the speech. According to the World Health Organization, or the WHO, obesity is defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. A BMI over 25 is considered overweight, whereas a BMI over 30 is considered obese. Measured as weight in kilograms, a BMI is going to be your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. So that's how a BMI is calculated. And a BMI, like I said, greater than 30 or equal to 30 is considered obese. This epidemic is growing rapidly due to many reasons, such as changes in culture, lack of government regulations, as well as unethical marketing practices and poverty. This is a very serious condition, and it is very widespread. The increasing amount of obese people in America is high and widespread. Therefore, it is an epidemic. According to the CDC, or the Centers of Disease Control, the prevalence of obesity in the United States throughout the years of 2017 and 2018 was 42.4%. That means 42.4% of Americans were impacted by obesity in some way, shape, or form. Obesity affects some races more than others. Non-Hispanic blacks are at the highest at 49.6% of obese individuals. And then next you have Hispanics at 44.8%. Then you have non-Hispanic whites falling in at 42.2%, and non-Hispanic Asians at 17.4%. And all of these statistics came from the CDC in 2020. The prevalence of obesity in children ages 2 through 19 was at 18.5%. So it is really clear that obesity is hitting after adolescence for most people, because 18.5% is a reasonable or a desirable percentage, as much as it can be in this situation. So it is hitting in late adulthood. Now, obesity is very harmful, and it can cause some very serious health issues, some of which can even be fatal. According to the CDC, obesity is a serious concern because it is associated with poorer mental health outcomes, reduced quality of life, and it's the leading cause of death in the United States and worldwide because it leads to diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and even some types of cancer. This statement by the CDC supports the idea that individuals who are obese, they are at a higher risk for both mental and physical diseases. First, they are more likely to develop mental disorders such as depression and anxiety onset by their weight. They are also more likely to develop physical disorders such as diabetes, heart failure, and high cholesterol because of their eating habits and the lack of exercise that is associated with obesity. The CDC also claims that obesity can bring on the leading causes of death in the United States and worldwide, supporting the idea that obese individuals are at a high risk for physical and mental diseases. People who are obese are also at a higher risk for complications from the COVID-19 pandemic, as a severe obesity increases the risk of contracting a breathing problem called acute respiratory distress syndrome, which is incredibly common in COVID-19 patients. Due to the fact that people who are obese, they're already going to be at risk for your respiratory and heart diseases, this puts them more susceptible to COVID-19. Also, if someone who is obese contracts COVID-19, their symptoms are more likely to be more severe once again because of that respiratory weakness that is already present in many individuals who are obese. People who are obese, they're also at a higher risk for heart disease and heart problems, such as high blood pressure, once again because of that excess of fat, that unhealthy diet, and lack of exercise that is typically present in those situations. Well, now that we have addressed the dangers and health risks related to obesity, I'm going to let Riley explore why so many people are still struggling with this epidemic today. Go ahead, Riley.